Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into, well, a global race, really, something that's reshaping higher education everywhere. It's this intense quest, especially since the early 2000s, for universities to be seen as research universities.
Mhm.
Institutions all over are asking, how do we actually do that?
It really has become a central benchmark, hasn't it, driving so much change. So in this deep dive, we'll unpack what that status truly means, why everyone wants it, and crucially, the strategic steps universities, particularly health sciences ones, can take to make that transformation happen. We've got some sharp insights lined up.
Okay, let's start with the global picture because the numbers themselves are pretty striking. You might think, well, every major university is a research powerhouse, right? But what our sources show is
Yeah.
actually quite the opposite.
Yeah, what's fascinating is just how rare they are. I mean, despite this huge ambition everywhere, the vast majority of the world's what? Over 25,000 universities? They remain primarily focused on teaching. Only a small fraction are genuinely research intensive.
That really puts it in perspective. The 2025 Times Higher Education rankings looked at just over 2,000 institutions. That alone tells you something. And when you look at where these hubs are, they're really concentrated. North America, Europe, East Asia.
Exactly. The distribution is very uneven.
Look at the AIRW rankings for 2024, the top 1,000 list. China, 225 ranked universities out of like 3,000 plus institutions. Then you look at India, over 1,100 universities, but only 15 on that list.
And Indonesia is even more stark, something like over 300 universities.
But not a single one on that world-class list.
Wow. So that unevenness really begs the question, why? Why this fierce pursuit of becoming a research university? Our sources point to basically three core pressures driving this.
Okay, what are they?
Well, first, there are the global trends. These university ranking initiatives, they've just fundamentally shifted the focus. It's moved from teaching excellence more towards research performance. So world-class university has become, a marker of modernization, of being part of the knowledge economy. For everyone, media, business, government.
So it's tied up with national prestige, economic standing. It's bigger than just academia. What about governments themselves?
That's the second pressure, precisely. Governments are actively involved. Countries like, say, Vietnam or Turkey, they're putting serious money and infrastructure into key universities, specifically to boost their national academic profile, but also their industrial standing.
Okay, so global trends, government push. What's the third?
Institutional ambition. Simple as that. Universities themselves, whatever their current situation, they're setting internal goals. They want to achieve this status. It's become a worldwide priority, this idea of adopting a research-driven model.
And I imagine for you listening, especially if you're in the health sciences field, this isn't just an abstract goal. Health sciences universities are right at the center of medical breakthroughs, public health. So integrating that discovery part with education and healthcare, it feels like, well, a necessity almost.
Absolutely crucial for them. But here's the twist. Despite all this pressure, this relentless push, you'd expect maybe a flood of new research universities.
Yeah, you would.
But the sources actually show many have struggled. The rankings haven't shifted all that much for a lot of institutions trying this. And the challenge seems to be that becoming a research university isn't just about, doing some research on the side.
Right.
It's defined by a real emphasis on creating new knowledge. Research has to be integrated right into the core mission, the core business model. And that takes, well, clear strategic vision, solid planning, and really strong leadership to actually pull off.
Sounds like a huge internal shift, culturally as well as financially. So, okay, how do they actually do it? What are the strategies that work? Our sources lay out four essential ones. First up is what they call a positioning strategy.
Right. This isn't just about picking a research area.
No, it's about figuring out your unique strengths, how you stand out from competitors. It might even mean divesting from things that don't fit that core mission anymore. For health sciences, that could mean really focusing maybe on infectious diseases or personalized medicine, something specific and high impact.
Okay, so you define your position. Then comes the competence strategy. Because positioning alone isn't enough, right? You need the resources.
Exactly. Concrete investment.
This means building the right infrastructure, labs, equipment, attracting and keeping top faculty, securing funding streams. For a health sciences place, that means the specialized research facilities, those crucial clinical partnerships, the tech capabilities for advanced medical research. It's building the actual muscle to deliver.
And then, this is interesting, the value creation strategy. This seems to be about looking ahead, assessing future trends, and figuring out how to maximize your impact. maybe in the medium term.
Yeah, making sure the research leads somewhere. For health sciences, that could mean translational research programs, getting discoveries from the lab to the patient,
Hmm.
or building strong industry partnerships, really emphasizing healthcare innovation that tackles real-world health problems, making sure the research isn't just published, but is genuinely useful.
Okay, positioning, competence, value creation. What's the fourth?
The final piece is a robust management strategy. This is about changing how the university actually operates day to day. Things like setting up dedicated research offices, creating real incentives for faculty to do research, and maybe most importantly, cultivating a whole culture that's oriented towards research.
So supporting faculty.
Absolutely. Robust support. Think professional development, help with writing grants. It's about building leadership that champions research and an entire ecosystem that sustains it across the institution.
There's actually a good example of this mentioned, Lokman Hekim University in Turkey. It's quite young. Founded in 2017, a health sciences institution. And apparently, they're actively using these kinds of strategies right now to make that shift. Prioritizing research areas, building the ecosystem, really trying to change their core model from teaching to research, basically from scratch.
It's a great illustration. So, wrapping up, becoming a research institution isn't a quick fix. It's a deep, strategically planned process. It often happens in phases, foundational growth, advanced, maybe eventually world-class. Each stage needs careful planning, sustained funding, and just a relentless commitment to research excellence.
So thinking about this intense global race, this drive for research status, here's a final thought for you to maybe ponder. What might be the long-term impact on universities that don't make this shift? What happens to the unique local educational needs, the specific identities of institutions that remain focused primarily on teaching? Something to think about.